Hello everybody, Revan here, and welcome back to StoneBlock 2, Episode 9, where today we're going to be getting into fusion crafting and hopefully at least the starts of the extreme crafting. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can get done. And oh my, do I ever look funny in this outfit. So can't wait to either upgrade it and look even more ridiculous, and then hopefully one day actually make it to the infinity armor. All right, so turn our hotbar back on here. Done a little bit of work in between episodes. I started, kind of changing this room over here. I like the ceiling. I'm not thrilled about the walls whatsoever, but I just kind of got lazy and was like, leave it as it is. This room I just made look like everything else, but I'm okay-ish with the grass, but since we're in a desert biome, the grass just looks kind of dead. And then these open block sky blocks are pretty nifty, at least for the ceiling. I put them on the wall, like I said, just because I got lazy and didn't really have anything better to put on. Still been working on breeding up infinity cows. I'm really not using the exploit of left clicking them to reset the breed time. I'm just kind of doing it and letting it go, mainly because when I go downstairs, I have, I think, 3 stacks of infinity cows set up right now, and it's getting pretty laggy. So just kind of, I'm not in a huge hurry. Plus the fact, I think, as far as EMC goes, if I want one balanced clay, I need like 16,000 infinity ingots to equal that amount of EMC. So it's going to kind of be, I would need pretty much to fill this entire downstairs with infinity cows in order to even come close to that. So I think we're probably going to have to go for power gen. I also did transfer our AE system to run off of these controllers here. And then I added a few more drawers. I tossed in the 64K storage devices that we got essentially through rewards, and I just kind of threw this quick molecular assembler together, and as well as a crafting processor. I don't really foresee us using it too much, to be completely honest, mainly because of the fact that we're going to be getting into EMC and the transmutation table fairly quickly. So once we make something, we can just pull it out of the EMC table and not really have to worry too much about auto crafting. But I made it just to kind of get through the quests here. As you can see, I still have to do the fluid and the wireless, which I want to get to today as well, just because as we're working on the Draconic Fusion crafting and stuff like that, which I'm going to be putting, forget which room I'm put it in, but one of these guys. And just being down here, it's going to get kind of old having to run up, grab stuff, run back down. So having a wireless terminal is going to be coming handy, and we're just going to put that there. So I think we actually just start off by making ourselves a wireless terminal real quick here. Let's see. So applied, we're going to need a ME security terminal, which is just going to be a 16K storage component, some iron, and an ME chest, which we're going to need another terminal for. And can we make that? Yeah, we can. Sweet. Knock that out. This should make our chest. And hopefully, yep, we got our security terminal. So next thing on the list, it wants us to make one of these wireless terminals. So we'll add that on, and then I think we have to upgrade this to a wireless crafting terminal as well. So we'll start with the terminal itself. We need another ME terminal. I just made 3 of these illuminated panels in the process of making the crafting monitor. So I have a few of them on dent. Dents, we're gonna have to make another 8 of these guys. All right, 8 and dents. There we go. Now, this guy is just going to be a Fluix Pearl and a quartz fiber. I think we'll probably have to make some more of these quartz fibers. Yep. That looks good. And then how do we make this Fluix Pearl? So we're just going to have Fluix crystals, Fluix dust, and an ender pearl. See if I can get... Yep. Nope. Even though I clicked it when it was on just the regular crystals, it's still one of the pure ones for whatever reason. And since I have to make those, yeah, not in a big hurry to use them. So do we have everything? All right, we have this receiver and we have this guy. Now, in order to expand our area, I think we're also going to need booster cards. Now, we have the infinity booster, but we don't have an infinite amount of those because we don't have like an Enderman farm or anything like that set up. So also because of the fact that I don't really foresee me needing to use it outside of the base, I'm thinking just these regular boosters are going to be fine. And let's see. Yeah, these are pretty easy. It's just Ceres quartz, iron, and a little bit of stuff and things. We need ender dust. Let's see, which is just going to be ender pearl and a pulverizer. We can do that. There it is. So the terminal we can set up downstairs. Let's just make sure that we don't need anything else. So crafting on the go, it wants us to make the wireless crafting. All right, let's get that knocked out real quick here. All right, so we need another Fluix pearl. We're gonna need another set of terminals, so we're gonna have to kind of make our way all the way back to these guys, upgrade it to an ME terminal, and then upgrade it to a crafting terminal. Then finally, we should be able to have our wireless crafting terminal. Now we just have to hook up this security terminal to our AE system, and we can just do that with, you know, a smart cable. And then I'm not 100%, but we might need one of these access points. So we're going to need another pearl. Craft that into the receiver. And we should just be able to access this right here. And I'm going to grab this glass cable just in case it wants something. All right, so the plan for this guy is really just to kind of toss our cable right there and then take our security terminal and just place it here. So we should just be able to toss in our terminal here, which will sync it. And let's see. Out of range, out of range. So now we need to, I think we need to toss on our access point up here. So let's just toss you right there, and we can toss our boosters on there. So now we should have access to the terminal anywhere in our base. Let's see here. I forget how far that these go individually. I suppose if we take it out. So normally it's 16 meters or 16 blocks. Each one seems to add one, but that seems to be multiplied by the more that you add. But 100 so far we have 197 block range, which means that as long as we're anywhere in our base, we should be able to access the terminal. Now, if we want to go to another dimension and access it, we'd have to throw in some of the infinity energy cards here. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not too horribly concerned about that, just because, yeah, I don't really foresee us needing it if we're going in the mining dimension, which we don't really need to go to anymore, or even to the end. It's not something that we're going to need too much access to. And if it turns out we do, we can just grab a stack, toss them in there when we're actually traveling. So next step is going to be figuring out which one of these 3 rooms we want to put our fusion crafting in. And my thoughts is to put it underneath our actual machine room over there. So if we come over here, we should have enough room to let's just say we can find the center line here and not mess this up. We can just put this here and like that. I'm not really worried about getting this fully automated just yet. I can do that later with phantom interfaces and stuff like that, especially when we get into things like the balanced clay and stuff, auto producing it. It's going to be necessary to have that, well, automated. Also, I think I'm only going to put 9 of the actual fusion crafters up here. I was looking through most of the recipes, and there's really nothing in the pack that I've found so far that's going to want more than 9 items. If it does, you know, we can add a couple more over here and possibly switch our crafting location over to the center so we could have 9 on that wall and 9 on that wall, and not really have much to worry about. But as far as the crafting setup goes, I think I'm going to put this, we'll say 3 blocks away. And then in order to craft this stuff up, let's see if we come back to Draconic, we need to start with the basic ones. So we're going to have to make a bunch of these and then, you know, upgrade to the Wyvern and the Draconic and then eventually the Chaotic. But like if you look at the recipes for the Wyvern, we only need 8 items. For the Draconic, we only need 7 items. And for the Chaotic, we only need 5. So again, there's really not much that's going to require more than 9 of the actual fusion crafters here. So let's get started and pop out 9 of these guys real quick. Let's just make another stack of those. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll just start with 18 so that we actually have them ready for us. We're also going to need some more points, which I already made an extra 9 of. So we'll just take these guys and toss them over here, and we can just pop them up here. And the only reason I'm doing a point for each one is just because energy transfer. I could do things like making the cryo stabilized flux duct and stuff like that, but since we're, like I said, we're going to be getting into the transmutation tablet fairly soon, I'm not going to go all out and make a bunch of stuff just so that I can use it for now. When if I wait an episode or 2, I can make 1 and then just dupe it indefinitely. So that's kind of what I'm going to go for. But for now, we'll just have all these guys and we'll just have to go through and set all of them. All right, that should be the last one set right there. Now we can just toss these guys on. Just like maybe there we go. I'll work on putting this up a little bit later. So the next step is we're actually going to need the crafting core, and let's see here. This is actually going to be, you know, our crafting table, so to speak. So we'll just take this guy. Let's grab a hopper just to be fancy. A couple of them is fine. And do we have any crates left? We have 1 crate, and let's just grab a chest. This can be our input. It doesn't have to be fancy. So the crate we'll put on top, the chest we'll put on the bottom, and take you out. Grab ourselves a hopper over here just so items are being taken out, and we'll toss you on. So that should be everything that we need for the fusion crafting, I believe. If we pull up the book right here, it'll tell us how it works. So if we want to automate this, essentially all we have to do is hook up some sort of redstone signal, like an RF tools timer or something like that. That'll just be clicking every once in a while. But normally you just toss the stuff in there and click craft, and it would actually get started. So the next thing it wants us to do is to make the Wyvern. And the reason that we're getting into the Wyvern is if we come over to, let's say, the transmutation tablet and do, which one is it? I think it's the antimatter relay. Yeah, it's requiring us to have tier Wyvern in order to get into the transmutation table. So we're going to have to upgrade all of these. And again, let's see. If we want to get up to the Wyvern tier, just add this to our hotbar. We are going to need some cores, Draconic cores, Draconium blocks, and ingots. So Wyvern core, Draconic core, and Draconium. So the Wyvern cores we'll add on, and let's grab our actual crafting tool here. We can just toss for you, toss you there, and you up there. Now we can just toss these other 9 in here, and they'll kind of make their way down into here. Although I'm not sure if it's going to register if there's more than 1 in there. We'll have to find out. It's been a minute since I've honestly since I've done Draconic Fusion, so still kind of relearning this. All right, so let's grab some Wyvern cores. We're going to need, what was it, 9 of them. And then we're going to need some of the regular cores. Oh, not the Wyvern cores, the Draconic cores. We're going to need 18 of these guys. Then blocks of Draconium, we're going to need 9. And then I think we needed diamonds. So let's see here. Break you guys up. We're going to need 4 stacks of 9. All right. And these guys we should be able to just place into our crafters one at a time. So if we take this, that, and then the Draconic cores, we needed 2 of stacks of them. So 1, 2. The Wyvern cores, we need you guys. And then the blocks of Draconium, we should need you guys. And if we come over here, we'll hit start. That will start doing its thing. Now let's just grab ourselves a timer here. All right, and you will just place you down here, toss you on there, and then we can just rotate you with our smart wrench. And we're going to set you to 500 and pause with the redstone signal activated. So that should do its thing. It's going to take apparently a long time to actually get going here. Yeah, I think this is working the way it's supposed to. It's just a lot slower than I remember it being. Do we have torch anywhere? Yeah, we'll just toss you there. Put you on top. And then I have an extra nether star for some reason. Not sure where that came from. But I'm gonna let these guys finish up and I'll be right back. So while that's doing its thing downstairs, we can actually start looking into getting into the extreme crafting, because that's the next part that we're going to need for the EMC tablet. Specifically, we need to get into these neutron collectors. Now, again, I don't need to go all out with the neutron collectors solely for the main, for the reason that once we get enough neutrons, we'll be able to craft up a transmutation table, and then we can just pull them out with EMC. I'm also not too concerned with, how much EMC we have, because although we have this guy over here, this big spender, us utilizing EMC to get machines and reactors and neutronium ingots and stuff like that really is not going to be putting a dent in this in this amount of EMC. So I'm just gonna, we'll play like we have unlimited EMC up until that point. But let's see. For the extreme crafting, first thing we need to do is make a bench, right? So we're going to need some crystal matrix ingots and a double compressed crafting table. Oh, it's just one double compressed. Wow, I've been sitting here. Okay. Pay attention. Pay attention. All right, let's make us up some of these diamond lattice. And we should just be able to make ourselves, 32 of these ingots. Should be a decent start. So if we just toss these guys in, we now have our extreme crafting table. And where do we want to put this? Normally I would put it underneath my terminal over here, but that's actually being taken up. So I suppose for now we can just toss that here. So the next step is going to be this neutron collector, which is going to require iron, quartz, crystal matrix, redstone. It seems like it's about it. And that should give us our neutron collector. Hey! All right, so neutron collector done. So we just need to toss this guy down right here, and it's going to start processing our neutron. So I'm going to make up a few more of these guys just so that we can have things going, because it is going to take a little bit of time before we can actually compile this, because I think it's going to take us a little while, because we're going to need 9 piles of neutron to equal 1 nugget, 9 nuggets to equal 1 ingot, and we're going to need a few of these guys as far as the nuggets go, just for this recipe down here, but we're going to need more of the neutronium as we go along anyway. So let me grab up some more stuff, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, well, I made a few more of these guys, and now it appears my base is haunted. I don't know if if you see this, but I've had this happen quite a few times before. It just kind of I guess it's a desync or whatever, but it's entertaining. It's also really weird when you're sitting up here like AFK or something like that, and then all of a sudden everything starts shifting left and right, and you're like, hello. All right, so these guys are gonna run for a while. Once they're done, we can move on to the compressor, which we're going to make, but I don't really think we're going to use, because once we get into Project E over here and we get the transmutation table, it's not going to be very difficult for us to make the Tome of Knowledge, and that's just going to unlock all of these things. So going through the trouble of making a bunch of these guys and then sucking everything out of our system to make the singularities, when we're just going to be able to pull it out of a transmutation table, collect the reward, and then toss it back in, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. One thing we do need to do is, where was it? It's just been bugging me that the chickens is not complete. We need to make a marketplace. So we'll just add this on, and then we'll just make this vegan thing, which we're going to need a chicken chunk for, but we can get a bunch of chickens and then, just collect the chunks. All right. So for the market, we'll collect you and we'll just toss you over there, and then we'll put you in the corner just because, yeah, we're not really going to need it for anything. So while we wait for our chickens to grow up so that we can ask them to share their tenders with us, we did manage to finish up our fusion injectors. So if we just take you guys off and pop you guys on, there we go. Now we can actually look to upgrade these guys as well. So if we toss them in here, and we'll just kind of do this on and off, we'll upgrade these to Wyvern, and then we'll run them back through to upgrade them to Draconic. So that is the plan. That's why I made 18 of them to start with. So we'll just kind of run through the same thing again. We'll just add all of our crafting material in here. And I think we just got these blocks of draconium. Hit start and then let it do its thing. So then when we come back, we can actually upgrade these to the Draconic guys. And in preparation for that, I do believe we're going to need some of the... Nope, we just need the Wyvern cores and the Awakened Draconium. I always want to say Awoken. So Wyvern cores aren't going to be an issue to make. We can just make a bunch more of these, and then we'll have everything that we need when we get to this set. And then the next step obviously will be upgrading our regular Wyvern armor to the Draconic, which we only looks like we need Awoken Draconium and some cores and energy cores. This stuff, yeah, easy enough to make. Let's just make up 4 of them to start. That way we're ready. So while we're waiting on everything, we can probably try to tick through some more of these storage quests right here. So we need to start off with a 1K fluid storage. So we'll just make 64 of the 1K devices, and we can just get this guy knocked out. Just make us up a bunch of these 4K real quick. There we go. So now we should be able to make our 4K fluid device and a 16K. And finally, we just make one of our 64K devices or storage. And there we go. So now we can toss all these guys back in. And if we look over at our AE, it looks like we are completely done with AE. So the only thing else that we have in here, the large storage crate, we're going to have to get into, I always forget the name of it. So the Empower, yeah, we're going to have to get into the Empower from actual editions, but we'll set that up a little bit later. What else can we do? We can make a black hole unit. So let's just add you on, and then we should be able to make a controller as well. And then realistically, we'll only have the Empower holding us back from completing this tab here. So let's just make us a couple of these guys real quick. Then we have our units, and we just need a regular ender chest for the controller. Oh, what else are we missing here? Pink slime ingot. All right, so for the pink slime ingot here, what we ended up using is this fluid sieving machine. So we just need to put a little bit of pink slime, specifically 2 buckets of it, in with an iron ingot, and we get our pink slime ingot. So what we did was we just kind of came over to this barrel over here, which has got a bunch of pink slime in it, and we built ourselves a sieving machine, and we just, you know, tossed it in here with a couple iron ingots, and we are able to make our black hole controller. So if we come over to our quests now, we actually have quite a few things done here. So let's just let's collect everything and see if we get anything good. And we still haven't gotten really anything all too good from our rewards. We have another Invar laser, Forge lexicon. Not really sure what that's for, to be completely honest. I'll have to look that up. Bunch of hoppers, sag mills, sifters, some more garden cloches. Yeah, but nothing to write home about. So what can we do next? Let's see. So our next stage, as far as getting into Project E, is going to be making this Sorcerer's Stone. And I think we should actually have everything that we need to get into that. So an Ender Star, I don't know if doesn't look like we've ever got one from a quest, but we should be able to make it. This is what we needed the Dragon's Breath from, and I think we have some black quartz. We don't, but I know we have black quartz ore, and it looks like we've actually crushed up all of our black quartz ore. So we'll actually just take a stack of the crushed ore and just toss this, guess not into that one. We'll toss it into our redstone furnace over here. So we'll just toss you in, and that should make us our black quartz. So now we should have enough to actually make the Philosopher's Stone, I believe. Or I'm sorry, the Ender Star, which is needed for the Philosopher's Stone. And everything else is just glowstone, redstone, emerald, and diamond. So nothing too crazy there. All right, so from there, this is where we start needing to get into more of the fusion crafting, as well as the neutronium and everything else. So we can actually start setting all of this stuff up. The night slime, I don't know if I have any of that. I know I have a cow for it, but I don't think I actually have ever made the ingots for it. So is there a chicken for it? There is a chicken for it. So I might actually have that. So we didn't actually have any of the night slime chickens. Apparently I never made that, but what we can do is go get us some chicken tenders. So we're going to need a solarium sword, and we just need to kind of come over here to where we threw all those eggs down earlier, and our chickens are fully grown now, so we can kind of harvest them for their bits and pieces. So when you kill a mob with the solarium dagger, you actually have a chance of obtaining mob chunks. So we're just going to have to hope that we get a little bit lucky here. All right, so after disposing of bouncing up and down, after disposing of all of our chickens over here, we only managed to get 7 chunks. So I mean, I think we only need 4 for the vegan chicken seed, but yeah, it's a lot lower than I remember getting from these things. So let's see. That was, what quest was that? This was over on chickens, and this should actually finish off our chicken quest line here. So let's just add this to our list over here, and so that way we can just kind of come in here and put this in. So what do we need? We need a tier 2 crafting seed and Prudentium essence. All right. Well, we can actually break down a bunch of our supremium here. All right, let's see about this. Now, the tier 1 crafting seed, we need to make the base crafting seed, which is just going to be prosperity shards and seeds. I think we only needed 1, but we'll just grab a couple just to be safe here. And then the tier 2 is just, or I'm sorry, the tier 1 is going to be the base seed with the inferium. So we'll just grab 3 of those, and then we're going to need to grab a tier 2, which is just the next step in essence. And I think that's all we needed for this chicken seed. Boo boo. All right, well, we finished off chickens, so I am very happy about that. Let's grab that reward, and we also finished off a few of the rewards in here. Got some more phantom interfaces, item magnet that I'll never use, another torch launcher, and let's see. Nice. You know, if we really wanted to, we could probably just kind of breeze our way through this here. So if we add all of these guys in, we can at least get the seeds knocked out, because we can just upgrade the seed one at a time until we get all the way up to the tier 6. So let's see if we can do this here. Tier 3. All right, so it's wanting another tier 2, which we didn't make. So we'll toss that in and then make the tier 3. Let that register. Then we can pop up to the tier 4. Is the tier 4 blocked? It is blocked by the Supremium. All right. That fixed that. Tier 5. We'll bring this down. That should open up those two. And then the last is the Insanium seed, or the tier 6 seed. So we have plenty of we have plenty of Insanium that we've been getting from quest rewards, and not from quest rewards, but from the legendary loot crates here. So we are good with that. So we can take all of these guys off of our list, and we can go back in here and see what it wants us to do next. Next, it wants us to make all of the furnaces, and yeah, I think that's just going to be a craftathon to get through here. So we have the tier 1 Inferium, tier 2 Prudentium furnace, the tier 3 Intermedium furnace, the Supremium furnace. So now we're doing the Supremium furnace. Before was the Supermium furnace, I think. So we can just take that guy out and we can pop him back in. And we do have plenty of these ultimate furnaces. We've gotten like 48 of them from quest rewards and legendary crates. So that is done. So we can toss that back in. And now for the ingots, I think the ingots are actually going to be fairly simple as well. I think they're just stepping up the different tiers. So let's just add all of these guys in. Base Essence ingot, just prosperity shard and iron. Inferium is just that base with a little bit of Inferium. Prudentium, Intermedium, Superium, Supremium, and Insanium ingot. So now we have all the ingots done, and we just need to do, I believe, the crystals that we would normally be using to craft up the different tiers of essence. But for us, we're just downsizing since we already have a lot of the Insanium and everything else. So, and the infusion crystals, I believe that's what they're called. There we go. So you have your basic one, which has a usage to it. So after 1,000 usage, it'll break. And then you have your master, which is just unbreakable. So the base infusion crystal is really easy. It's just diamond, some prosperity shards, and then the base tier essence. So we can grab that, and then we can right away grab the infusion one, which is going to be Supremium essence and prosperity shards. So we have just completed the entire mystical agriculture tab here, which is kind of insane. Let's see, did we get anything good? I don't think we got anything good again either. We got more void metal, which is very good. So when we actually get into Thaumcrast, we won't actually have to utilize the fusion matrix to make it. And anything that can help me in Thaumcraft, I will be very happy with. Imaginary time blocks, I don't think we're actually really going to get into these in this pack. I don't have a use for making farms. Some people will use them to make like dragon egg farms in order to speed up their EMC production. But, you know, again, to get to that big spender EMC thing, I think our best bet is really just going to be using our fusion crafting to make the balanced clay, because anything else is just going to take probably close to 2 months of a farming EMC to get there. But I think for the last thing that we're going to do this episode is we're going to make our singularity compressor. I forget what it's actually called. Let me just dump this stuff up over here. If we come over here, it's the neutronium compressor. So the neutronium compressor, we're just going to need some hoppers, iron, crystal matrix ingots, some of the neutronium ingots, which we're going to need to make. And yeah, that's really about it. So the neutronium ingots, or the neutronium ingots, are really easy. It's just the new pile of neutrons into nuggets and so on and so forth. So let's just knock these guys out. All right, and from all that, we got 30 of the neutronium ingots. We only need one of the blocks. So we'll just grab him, and then we'll just grab all of the other supplies. All right. And I did figure out how to move items into the crafting grid. If I have the recipe saved up here, it seems to go. It didn't want to do that before when I was looking at the crafting table and was choosing from this right side inventory. But from the left side, it seems to work just fine. So if I just click that, toss all the items in, and we can now collect our neutronium compressor, which, like I said, I don't think we're ever going to actually have to use, because once we get down here, we can make our tome of knowledge, right? So we need a chaotic core and a transmutation tablet. The transmutation tablet is not really a whole lot other than just us defeating the chaos dragon at least once and then pulling out a bunch of the shards. Everything else is stuff that we should have available to us. I mean, we are going to have to work on the HDPE sheets, which we can do in another episode. But once we get the stuff to make this, making the tome of knowledge is going to be pretty simple. And once we actually have that, like, all of these guys, we don't need to worry about. We can just pull them out, collect the reward because it doesn't take it, and pop it back in the system, and we won't lose any EMC from it. So I think that's kind of what we're going to do. The only thing I'm not 100% sure of is, yeah, we can even do that for the Infinity Catalyst. So, but we're going to have to call it an episode there. If you enjoyed the video or possibly learned something, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps me out greatly. And as always, guys, stay safe, be awesome, and we'll see you guys next time.